I just want to go very quickly through a few facts and also tell you about what IFRA stands for and what we want to do. So this title for the seminar today tells you all about it. I mean, on one hand, we have the safety concerns which can be raised about fragrances, and we are doing, you know, a big job in terms of appreciating the safety of ingredients we use in perfumery. But on the other hand, I mean, we want to have a balanced approach to fragrances and not forget that a life without fragrances would be quite dull, quite boring, and in some cases could be even dangerous, as people who are, you know, victims of anosmia can demonstrate every day. So I want to be fast, so if you have any question, you can, you know, interrupt me or ask me after. But I just want to make sure that we get the opportunity today to tell you what IFRA is all about. Now, this industry, fragrance, is a relatively small industry. It's a fascinating industry, you know, having been in it for quite a few years, maybe too many years. It's a fascinating industry, but it's still a small industry. It's, you know, about $8 billion total market size, depending on the value of the dollar, so I'm not going to take a chance on this. But it's a relatively small industry on a worldwide basis. Now, we employ about 35,000 employees on an international basis. And what are our big characteristics? It's creativity, of course. I mean, we are the perfumers and the creation of new smells every day. You can't imagine how many thousands of smells, new smells, are created. But what people don't understand or don't know necessarily is that it is a science-intensive industry. We are spending overall something around 10% of the turnover of the industry in R&D. And one of the big components of the R&D is, of course, the discovery of novel molecules, which in turn enhance the creative capacities of the industry. And also a lot of activities is undertaken by the industry to better understand what makes a consumer tick. Why does he like fragrance A versus fragrance B in the context of a particular detergent or fine fragrances or whatever. Now, so basically, two quick slides on where the fragrances are going into in terms of finished utilization of fragrances. People very often look at our industry as essentially an industry characterized by the fashion and the glamour of the big couturier brands, but also you have to realize that 25% of the turnover of industry is generated in detergent, household, important products for the quality of life in everyday consumptions of the household. 50% is about cosmetic toiletries, and another 25% is really the fine fragrance, what you call the alcoholic perfumery. Now, geographically speaking, roughly you have 1/3 in Europe, about the same in the US. We estimate 37% of the market is in Europe. And Europe is, of course, now larger by the day. And 31% is about the correct figure for the US. And the rest is elsewhere, but with a very growing area, which is called Asia Pacific, which is today 22%, but is growing at quite a very fast rate. Now, what is IFRA? IFRA is a global trade association. We are representing the fragrance creation houses over the world. And we are representing, and we want to represent everybody who wants to be associated with IFRA, not just a few happy big companies, but also the smaller companies are welcome in IFRA. At the moment, we are representing 90% of the worldwide market. So we have a horde of smaller companies who are part of IFRA, and we want to make what is necessary to be made to welcome all companies, whatever the size is, because we believe that in terms of reputation, any company is worth joining IFRA, copying with the IFRA standards, the IFRA safety rules, and make sure that you have a responsible behavior from a safety point of view all over the place. Now, we have members, in many parts of the world, so Asia Pacific, Latin America, Europe, of course, but also South Africa, US, etc., etc. So we have two different kinds of members. The bigger companies are direct members, and also the associations, which are necessary precisely to cover the territories on a wide basis. And we, again, we represent about 90% of the world market. So what do we stand for? IFRA, and I don't want to apologize for that, but very often IFRA is known for the standards, which is a little bit the limitation that we are imposing on the industry in terms of using certain ingredients. Either ingredients are banned or ingredients are limited. That's, the well-known face of IFRA. But what is not as well known is that we believe that it is part of our mission in IFRA to promote the concept of life is better with fragrances as opposed to without fragrances for the population at large. And the two things are really at the heart of what we have to do. We have to have a very balanced attitude, behavior, and speech, because you have to recognize that some issues may be coming in terms of safety, health, or environmental consideration from fragrances, and we have not to ignore that or to, let's say, refute it. So we have to do a good job there, but at the same time, the better job we do on the safety, the better strength we will be to be able to promote the benefits of fragrances. So what does IFRA do? So, the safety bit, we have a code of practice where we have all the standards. Every year we come up with a new set of rules for new ingredients that we are investigating. It is important to know that we don't want to take the position that we know everything about everything. This is just not possible because science is evolving and ethical methods are evolving. So we know more every day, thanks to the scientific program we have. And so we have constantly to revise our safety rules in order to keep them completely up to date. So these safety rules are part of what we call the code of practice, and they are mainly, what we call the IFRA standards. We have about 3,000 raw materials we use in this industry. We have, every couple of years, a systematic survey of what raw materials are used in the industry, and the figure of 3,000 is the last count we did. And we have about 175 standards, so 175 materials out of 3,000, which are regulated in terms of either they are banned or they are restricted. Now, we have recently also instituted a compliance program because we say, okay, it's fine to have rules, it's fine to have safety rules, but we need to also make sure that the safety rules are, implemented. So what we do every year with our compliance program, we sample market products worldwide, and we get them analyzed by an external lab to verify that the fragrances contained in these market products are conform to the IFRA standards. And when they are not, then we enter in the dialogue with our fragrance houses, members of IFRA, to make sure that they will comply and that they can understand and will be helped in order to comply. Now, all this is based on the science chapter, which is mainly the responsibility of the Research Institute for Fragrance Materials, which is an industry scientific center, which is based in the US, which is really the depository of the most comprehensive bank of data regarding fragrance ingredients. Now, it is, of course, obvious that we would not be credible if we would be doing the science and also decide about the IFRA standards by ourselves. In fact, we do the science under the direction of an independent panel of experts called the REXPAN. And Thomas Dipken, who is going to talk later on, is associated to that panel. And you can ask him whether or not he thinks he's independent or not. We do not negotiate their decisions. We take them even if we don't like them. You know, we want to make sure that people understand that we give that authority to an outside party. Now, we do also communication, so we do science via RIFM, we do, you know, safety, compliance, and more recently, we started to think that we had to do much more internal communication. And thank you to be here today, because you are part of our program of communication, and hopefully you're going to be spreading the word in your organizations. But basically, you know, we were an industry, an organization which was a little bit secretive. You know, we wanted to keep it for ourselves. And we had some major disasters because of that attitude. So we have decided a few years ago to become more transparent. And one just, you know, demonstration of that transparency is the fact that you have published on our website the list of raw materials that we use in the industry. So if people want to target us, they can go to our website, tell us what's wrong with the raw materials we are using, and then you can have a conversation. So that's transparency. We spend a lot of time in communication in terms of rebuting and justifying attacks, because you see, read a lot of things in the press. One of our speakers was just referring 5 minutes ago to jasmine. Is jasmine going to be banned? Not at all. Another thing was about rose essence. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many journalists call us to say, well, is it true that you're going to ban rose? I mean, you know, I would prefer to die than doing that, very frankly. Anyway, and what new chapter we want to really undertake, and we would like to have also your comments at the end of the morning, is to promote the benefits of fragrances, because we believe that it is important for us to do the safety bit well. We shall not deny that. But at the same time, remind people that, you know, a world without fragrances would be dull, boring, sad. I just can't think about it. I mean, you know, it's so frightening. Okay, so that's really the main theme of the day. And I do hope that you are going to be enjoying the day and give us your feedback. We are inviting you within the communication, but you have been really pretty much, I would say, selected as people who can tell us the truth. Thank you.